If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please consider hitting the like button. It really does help the video out, even if I don't deserve it because I'm terrible at video games. And if you want to follow me on Twitter for absolutely no reason, the link for that is down below. If you do need any coins, head over to u7buystore.com. Use the code TVM at checkout for a discount. The link is in the description. What is going on, guys? Fm here. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the FM Road to Glory. This is Tranmere, or rather we are Tranmere. We have lost one game this season, big disappointment. However, we've won 12 of 13, so I suppose we should just let ourselves off a little bit. Doncaster have only conceded 8 goals this season. We've conceded 9, and I thought we had a very, very good defensive record. I mean, we do, to be fair, but it's not quite as good as Doncaster, which is a little bit upsetting. But, for the most part, considering we built this team for free, I think we were allowed to do that. So, we lost our game against Salford. It was one of those, just, we weren't fit. Really, that was it. That's all it was. We weren't as fit as they were. I think we've got the better team. We've already proved that this season. I mean, we've absolutely annihilated nearly every single team we've played, apart from Doncaster, to be fair. We were quite lucky to beat them. I think we got a goal quite late on. 81 minutes, Adam Jackson from a corner. 2 centre-backs, Adam Jackson and Sam Lavelle, were the players who got the goals in those games from dead ball situations. We weren't particularly great, and their manager expressed his outrage that we actually took 3 points from that game. We beat Crewe, who are a League One side. Beat them on penalties. For some reason... Does it show who took the penalties? Yeah, see? Marcin Brzezowski. He's our goalkeeper. For some reason, he took the first penalty. I was organising the penalty takers because I don't have them organised. And I tried to put him last. And for some reason, he went first. He scored, which was very Liverpool-esque, but still, it was actually a good penalty. It's probably one of the best penalties out of all of those. We beat them anyway on penalty, so that was good. We go through because it's like a group stage thing in the EFL Trophy. I'm not really sure why they have it like that, but I still think we have Man United under 23s yet to play, but it means nothing because we're through anyway. So we're going to play Hartlepool now, then we'll play Bromley. 2 teams who are at the opposite end, really. Hartlepool, we've already beaten them 5-0 this season in the Cup. And then we have Bromley to play, who are fighting for a playoff place. The frustrating thing about this is, look at all those results, right? Even from when we joined and we played Annan Athletic and we beat them 7-1, all the way up until where we are now, we score goals for fun. And only in the one game did we lose and failed to score, incidentally. The rest of them, we've scored loads. Only the 1-0 against Mansfield, fine. But then 4-0, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. Why am I saying this? Well, the board have given me a B-. They're pleased. We're meant to, like media prediction, we're meant to finish 11th. Last season, they were like 5 points clear of the drop zone. How? And in what world does a board have this expectation of a club who nearly got relegated last season? It's absolutely absurd. We are 9 points clear of Cambridge, and yet the board are like, could be better. It's not bad, but it's not great, is it? I don't know what more I need to do. I mean, to be fair, part of it, and I would argue that this is probably a massive part of it, is the finances of the club right now. We're 2 million in the black, but when it comes to the wage budget, which we can afford, the club's not going into financial ruin because of the wage budget. However, I am spending about 9,000 more than I should be on wages, which is probably part of the reason why they're not happy. Which I understand, makes sense, I get it, but at the same time, if your club is top of the league and you've got 2.7 million or whatever it is in the bank, this guy, wait, no, it's not him. Never mind. He's actually leaving. Smith. He was the guy I didn't deem good enough at the start of the season, and I actually binned him off and I chucked him in the reserves, and I thought, well, he's on the transfer list or whatever. He'll go at some point, and no one came in for him. I needed him because Rolando Aarons picked up a knock and then he came back and then he went out injured again. So Rolando Aarons is completely unreliable. And Kimani Smith, who is pretty good. He's not amazing. He's not by far not our best player in that position. But I was using him as a bit part. And he is on his way, I think, to Miami, I think. Miami have come in and offered 180,000, which I thought was a pretty good deal. But to be fair, I didn't have a choice anyway. He wanted me and expected me to accept the deal. So, yeah, he's gone or going. So 180,000. Now, if he goes to Miami, as opposed to the other club that are in for him, was it Scunthorpe? Oh, he's back. For how long, though? Yeah, if he comes in... Or sorry, if he leaves for 180,000 to Miami, it's only 120 up front, and then the rest of it is in installments. But it's going to be a little bit of the wage I can get rid of as well. I think he's on like 1.2 a week, which would be nice. It would take us down to what, like 8,000 over the budget, and then I could put all of that transfer budget that we get, 60% of it. All of the 60% that we get allocated, I can throw back into the wages, so it might bring that down just a little bit, and we'd be ever so much closer to being in the black again for wages, which would be really nice. And then I assume the board would be like, hey, you're doing a great job. But until that happens... So, for right now, we have to pick the team. To be honest, the team has been picking itself. I don't really rotate unless I absolutely have to. So, in this instance, I don't have to because everybody is fine. Most are sort of match... Well, everyone in the 11 is match sharp. Morale is up there. It has been better. That 1-0 defeat against Salford really didn't help. But morale otherwise has been pretty damn decent. The links, because I just don't play anyone else. Unless I have to for fatigue purposes, I don't rotate. It's not one of those teams where I trust in my subs and reserves to be as good as... I thought we were going to play Hartlepool. Apparently we're going to play Swindon. I don't know how that came about. I've been seeing it come in for a while and I was thinking... We're playing Hartlepool. I don't really get it. Maybe we play Hartlepool next then. Possibly. I don't know. I would expect us to beat Swindon. We are the favourites. We're quite sort of big favourites to beat them as well, to be fair. And, you know, everyone... Apart from Rolando Aarons, we have our strongest 11. Stutter and Timmy Abraham up front have been the best strike partnership I've had for a long time. They've been so good together. It's all come from when I swapped those two around from advance forward and pressing forward. They were in the wrong roles as far as I could see, and I switched them, and it's worked an absolute treat. So hopefully, this is a really long highlight, but hopefully we can continue our good run of form. Earlier, as we concede a goal to Stuart Phillips in the first minute, that hasn't happened all season, by the way. It's because I'm recording, guaranteed. Earlier, I went to make a sub, and it must be a glitch that happens in the game, because it's happened to me before, but not quite as bad as this. So, highlight was playing, and I went to make a sub, and when I came back, I had to watch like 10 in-game minutes, there he is, of the game. And I was like, what the hell is happening? And I went into the settings, and it said that I was watching the full match. So I literally watched from the 65th to the 75th minute, and I thought, I was like, this is a very weird highlight. It's a long time, 10 in-game minutes. Stutter... with the goal to make it 1-1. We were behind for 6 minutes, not even that, which was fantastic. And it's almost come from a set piece. Mason on the edge, gives it to Hunt, into Horgan, who's been pretty good. Hales has been really good at delivering the ball into the box. And there it is. He hasn't been very good at defending because he's just not in the team to defend. I know it's a bit weird when you've got a fullback who doesn't know how to defend, but he knows how to deliver a ball. Trent can defend, maybe just not as well as you'd like him to be able to. But Hales is definitely the Trent Alexander-Arnold of Tranmere right now. He is able to put a killer ball into the box, but don't ask him to do much in the way of defending. So, 2-1 up, having gone 1-0 down. That is the kind of performance that we've been putting in this season. I mean, to be fair, we haven't really gone 1-0 down that often. And in fact, I think the only game that we went 1-0 down against Doncaster. We came back to beat them 3-2, and we went 1-0 down against Salford, and then we lost. But ball played in. Horgan nods it back, and it's off the line by the keeper. Could arguably have gone in there. Cambridge are not playing, I don't think. So we will go 12 points clear if we can hang on to this, and it's off the line again. We've hit the post. Corners are back, and I say back as if you knew You know, if you hadn't watched the Brentford save, you don't really know. We were corner merchants and set-piece merchants in the beginning of the Brentford save. When Onuachu came in from Genk. Was it Genk or Ghent? Genk, I think. We were fantastic from corners. We were scoring loads of goals from this situation here. And we've gone back to that. We've been using defenders who are really good in the air, and we've got really nice set-piece takers as well. And it's just working a treat, and that's one of the reasons why we are so far ahead at the top of the table. From this area right here as well, we're really dangerous. So Mason will throw it in, he'll get it back for a cross, and then we've got plenty of people in the area who are either good on the floor, who are really good in the air, and we can score loads of goals. Hunt gets in, and it's an easy save for the keeper. We are half an hour or so from the end of this game, and we can see the victory line. Unfortunately, I'm going to bring Rolando Aarons on. Unfortunately, I can see us cocking this up a little bit. I mean, we are so far clear of them. We're playing so much better than they are. The possession, the shots, the XG, everything is in our favour. But it only takes one lapse in concentration to throw the game away. What do we need? Boateng maybe to come off? Don't think that needs to be done, although there's some fresh legs there. Yeah, let's bring Dan Sweeney on for Boateng. So Dan Sweeney is one of those players I brought in again on a free, because every player I brought in was on a free. But he can play central midfield, central defensive midfield, and centre back, and he can play them all as well as each other. So he's natural in nearly every position. So he's a really useful player to have on the bench, so you can bring him on wherever you need him at any point. I would be very disappointed if we conceded here and the game finished 2-2. I would be very happy if Stutter could put that home. It's just wide from Timmy Abraham. Timmy Abraham's ball into him. I don't like this though. 9 minutes from time. A little flick. Absolutely unnecessary. Timmy nods it down. Stutter goes after it. It's handled rather comfortably by the Swindon defence. Long ball played forward. Nodded down to Horgan. Into Stutter, who touches it well past the defender, and it's in, and that is game over. Ronnie Stutter was an absolute genius signing, and I'm happy to say that I was the one that made it. I mean, what a player. Wait, hang on. Did I? No, I did bring him in, because there were some players who were already on their way in before I joined the club. It wasn't me that's built this entire 11. I think 2 or 3 of them were already on... maybe 2 of them were on contracts like to come into the club, so I can't really take credit for those. And I was going to say, and we've gone 4-1 up, but no, we haven't. But yeah, I'm taking credit for the majority. Probably could have made another sub, didn't, and that could be bad because I think we play Hartlepool in like a day. But that is a 3-1 win at home. Very, very pleased to put those 3 points on the board. That puts pressure on Cambridge, because if they don't win, we are so far out of sight because no one else can get anywhere near us. Salford can maybe go 28 points, which would be 11 points adrift. But with every passing win we pick up, we just go that little bit clearer, which is just fantastic. Now, when is Hartlepool? It's literally in 3 days' time. So what I'm going to do, and this is what everyone should be doing. Did Hartlepool just beat Doncaster? Oh my days. That might have been the day before. What was your reaction hearing Simon Grayson talking about signing Adam Jackson? I have a lot of time, Simon, but I won't be selling Adam to him. I think there's easier, blah, blah, blah. So what I tend to do, and I would imagine the majority of you watching, if you do play FM, do, and we're doing it right here. So I can deselect Smith. Apparently, I'm going to deselect everyone. I'll just bring that down there. What I do after a game... If I have a game in like 2 or 3 games time, like we don't have an awful lot of time, just immediately go and put everyone on a 1-day rest. If you've highlighted an injured player, it won't let you do it. So if you're thinking, how can I do this? It won't let me do it. You've probably got an injured player highlighted. So that's why I went all the way down to Jack Burrows and I didn't include Smith because it wouldn't have let me. So I have, or rather we have sold... that guy that I forgot the name of already, Smith. He's gone to Miami in the end, so we didn't get as much money. Well, we've got 180,000 for him, which we would have had if he'd gone to, I think it was Scunthorpe. There he is. So he went to Miami. Unfortunately, it wasn't the amount of, like, Southend, not Scunthorpe. So 180,000. We had 105. They allocated 65 or 64,000 to the budget. I've thrown that into the wage budget, and now we're only overspent by around 12,000, which 8,000, which is okay. Again, we've got 2.7 million. I don't think they're going to miss 8 grand a week. I mean, to be fair, they will. That's a lot of money for this club. But at the same time, just, we're top of the league. Allocate me the money. In terms of that resting tactic, has it worked this time round? It has indeed. So if I hadn't have done that, and I can't guarantee this, but for the most part anyway, had I not put everyone on a one-day rest immediately after the game had finished, we would have some fatigue issues here. Now, that isn't necessarily something you have to do if you're a Premier League outfit, especially if you're a top team, like a Liverpool or a PSG or a Real Madrid or something, because you've probably got the rotation to be able to cope with it. Now, we've got a couple of players here who I believe are first-team quality. I'm talking Rolando Aarons, even Kieran Morris, or Oduisina. Yeah, I can't say his name, but he is definitely first-team quality. Ryan Watson is probably good enough to play first team, as well as Ollie Wright. And possibly Dan Sweeney as well could maybe do a job at first team for a couple of games. So it's not the end of the world, but I would much rather go out with this 11 than I would have to rotate anyone. So it's definitely something to consider after every time you play, if there isn't that many games or many days before your next game. I wouldn't do it all the time because it does ruin a little bit of the training, because they would be on a rest and then they would be doing some sort of training in the evening or afternoon or something. But either way, that's something that I've pretty much always done. So we are 11 points clear because Salford did win their game in hand, but it looks like that Cambridge did not win their game in hand, or maybe they only got a point. I'm not sure. Last time we played Hartlepool, we beat them 5-0. It was a cup game. I'm absolutely oblivious to the team that they played. Can't remember for the life of me one single name that they had on the pitch. So for all I know, they didn't play their starting 11. I genuinely have no idea. But even though we're away, and even though for all I know they played a rotated team, I would be bitterly disappointed if we didn't come away here with the 3 points, because we are just that much better. We're top of the league. We're clear by God knows how many points at this stage, 11. They are struggling. So, yeah, it would be one of those games where I'd be a little bit miffed. So they're in 17th. They're clear of the relegation, but they're nowhere near playoffs at the same time. It's kind of that, not really playing for an awful lot this season kind of job. Speaking of job, I'm a little bit disappointed that I don't really envisage me managing someone like Wrexham or Newport in this save. I kind of wanted to. And maybe I could have made it part of the series, or I'm only going to manage Welsh clubs. But, I mean, I'm limited there, right? So, Cardiff are the highest, or Swansea, sorry, the highest. And then it would have been like, well, I have to build one of them up to be this sort of Premier League powerhouse. And then that sort of limits me to only playing in the Premier League or the Welsh League. So, ball over to Horgan. Comes in, and Stutter is there. Of course, he is 17th of the season. Horgan with yet another assist. I can't say it's been coming, to be honest. They've looked more likely to score from the highlights, not necessarily from the stats, but I really like this team. What a ball from Hendry, who isn't even a player who I would consider to be our starting 11 player. He is right now, but only because Rolando Aarons is injured. He won't start when Rolando Aarons is back fully fit. Maddison with a corner, and it's cleared by Timmy Abraham. I'm hoping a lot of these players are going to be capable of playing in League One, because I've grown quite attached to Stutter and Timmy Abraham, and Hunt in the middle as well. Hunt has been fantastic for us. Really, really good player. The two centre-backs are very good as well, actually. That was questionable. Mason has just given it to Mitchell Lawson, who has tapped it home for a goal. Not the goalkeeper's fault, and purely down to Mason not looking where he's passing. That was shocking. I mean, he's goal side of him. He's got the ball. There's no need to play it back to the keeper there. Absolutely no need. Doesn't even look up to see if his keeper is there and able to receive the ball. Corner, and Lavelle makes it his 8th of the season. He is a centre-back. It's Joel Matip vibes, or Martin Skirtle What year did he score like loads of goals? Was it 2017? Maybe before that. 2015? I can't remember. He scored a load of goals one year, Martin Skirtle. 2015, for some reason, is sticking in my head. I don't think it was, but it might have been. Ball forward to Timmy Abraham. Surely not before half-time. He's hit the post. 2-1 we lead in going into the break, and it could have been more. I'm not displeased with that first half of football, although I do think we've been unlucky and lucky at the same time. It does look like we're going to run away with this league, though. I'm hoping that in the next episode I will have skipped forward a hell of a lot more. I wanted to skip forward more than where I've started, but I ran out of time when I was playing and I had to start recording. Hales puts the ball in and Timmy is there and he nods it wide. One more goal puts this game to bed. And Salford have just gone into the lead in their game by the looks of things. So they have put 3 points on the board, which means our lead at the top as it stands is again 11 points. But I'm sure Hartlepool will have something to say about that because they're in possession and they're not playing that badly. Oh, that is an awful pass. Curse of the commentator. Hales picks it up. Maybe looking to make a sub in a second. Boateng, Hunt, Abraham. He sees Stutter through the middle. No, he doesn't. He sees Horgan out wide, who sees Stutter in the middle. Hales brings it forward, plays it into Horgan. He has to be offside, and he is. Linesman has his flag up. No VAR at this level, of course, so we don't have to watch VAR decisions every 5 minutes. That's what I really like about the lower leagues, to be honest, is that I don't, when a goal goes in, I immediately look at a linesman, and if the linesman doesn't have his flag up, I know I can celebrate instantly. But even in real world football and in FM, it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. When a ball goes in the back of the net, and the Chelsea-Liverpool game is a perfect example of this if you watched it. I think there were 4 disallowed goals in that game. What can I do here? Hendry can go up front instead of Abraham. And I'm going to bring on Rolando Aarons, which is not a bad substitute to make if we're honest. Daryl Horgan could realistically do with coming off. So I'm going to bring Kieran Morris on, who is good enough to play as a starting 11 player anyway. So it's not like we're downgrading quality too much, although Horgan is one of the best players. We have a corner. Can Lavelle get on the end of it? He can, but not steer it goalwards. 15 minutes remain. 1 goal for us puts this game to bed, and I would very much like it because every time we have a highlight and they have possession, I do have a feeling that we're going to do what my teams normally do at this stage of the season. We've built up an insane lead. We're playing really well. We don't look like losing. So at some point, inevitably, we're going to lose 4 in a row, and then we're going to end up in second place, despite the fact that we've been relentless all season. That's a foul. Referee says play on. Aarons gets fouled. Referee this time pulls it back, and Fisher is about to get red carded. And deservedly so, to be fair, because the referee let the first one go. He can't let 2 go, surely. And there is a red card. That's not game over, though. That's the problem. Callum Hendry could do with coming off. I don't really have... I'm going to bring Ryan Watson on for Hendry, and I'm going to put 3 midfielders, and I will... Yeah, I'll just do that, and I'm not going to change any instruction or anything. I'm just going to say, hey, go for it. I might praise the boys, see if they like that. Yep, they're a big fan of that. We are approaching full time. Could we have? I think this might be one of the first times in the series where we've actually put back-to-back wins on the board. Oh, what a goal from Ryan Watson. The 2 substitutes combining, that was fantastic. Watson doesn't get that much football, although he does have a goal already this season. Mason throws it in. Watson touches it to Aarons. Aarons feeds it through. Just puts him in a position to say, hey, hit me. What a goal that is. 3 goals to 1. I think it's a little bit more generous than perhaps it could have been. And that puts another 3 points. Back-to-back wins in this episode, which, like I said, I don't really get to say very often. But I'm very happy that it's happened. And that has put us in such a strong position going forward. As long as we can just keep... ticking over with the wins, putting those points on the board. Absolutely no reason why we can't have this league wrapped up very early, to be honest. Because if we can keep going at the pace that we're going, yeah, we had a little blip there against Salford, but if we can keep going, there's no reason why we can't have this league sewn up by the end of February, in all honesty. Maybe even sooner. Because in terms of the league, I mean, we are looking very, very good. We only need to win promotion as well, so we only actually need to finish 3rd. Although at the moment, all the points are pretty much the same down there. But we do only need to finish 3rd. But I would very much like to win the league from this position. 14 wins out of 15 is an insane start. Salford are really putting the form together now, though, as are Rochdale out of nowhere. Last season, Rochdale were 13th and we were 19th. It's great. I still can't get over how the board expect us to win automatic promotion, even though last season we were like, yeah, eight points clear of the drop zone. And they're like, yeah, we want you to go up automatically this year. That's a 30-point increase to go from where we were to top of the table. 30 points. And there's only 8 points the other way. I really don't understand the logic behind that on the board. It's not like they've gone, right, well, I've just given you £1 million to spend. I expect results. I didn't have any money to spend. So, yeah, crazy. If you're enjoying it, do me a favour and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.